Hey Capricorn, welcome to Higher Source Tarot. This is going to be your 2020 year ahead predictions for all Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in Capricorn. So if you know your chart and you have placements in any of those areas in Capricorn, then you are in the right place. You can pay to have your chart read, but you can also do it online. There's several free websites that are very accurate. I actually paid to have mine done many years ago, and then I compared it online and found it was identical. So I do think that some of the free things that are out there are reliable. You just need to know your time of birth and city and some other information. So go get out that birth certificate if you haven't done it already. So I hope that you, for those of you that celebrate Christmas, you had a nice holiday. Do know we are coming up to a brand new year here, 2020, with, the numbers are oftentimes relevant for many of us, and there's going to be many of us who will have a transformative year in 2020. So set your intentions in the next couple of days. Be very clear about what it is that you want. And one of the best questions you can ask yourself is, why do I want this? Not how am I going to get it, not why hasn't it come, not what should I be doing, why do I want this? And really picture yourself in your mind's eye living that dream life, because that can become your reality. The thing that holds it away from you is your personality or your ego, that part of you, that voice in your head that doesn't shut up, all that noisy stuff that can go on upstairs. That's what keeps you from getting the things that you really desire. And I think too, for a lot of people, struggling with feeling worthy. And if you find yourself comparing yourself and saying, why do they have that? They're not nearly as loyal or smart or whatever. That's all ego, and you don't want to do that either. So be very clear on what you want. Think of the things that are already in your physical reality that you can't believe are part of your life. Like, wow, I wanted that and it happened. And, know that ask and it is given. So we will use these cards throughout the reading from Abraham Hicks or Esther and Jerry Hicks. These are great cards. If you are a student of the law of attraction and you have not heard of Abraham Hicks, I would suggest you go familiarize yourself, and you'll learn a lot, because they're probably one of the leading teachers in metaphysics and the law of attraction. So here we go for Capricorn 2020. Now, I will tell you, Abraham Hicks does not believe in karma. They kind of feel like that's lazy thinking. If you are blaming your current situation on a past life, like I must have really been a real ass in a previous life because look at all this bad stuff, they feel like, or what they teach is that that's just being kind of lazy about managing your thinking and your emotional indices. So we're going to go month by month here, okay? January is the High Priestess. February is the King of Pentacles. March is the Star, and then April is the Devil. Interesting. May is the Three of Pentacles. June is the Seven of Wands. July is the Magician, lots of major arcana, and August is the Five of Cups. September is the Four of Pentacles. October is the Knight of Wands. November is the Hierophant, and then you end with Judgment in December. Now this is really interesting because you have so many major arcana in this, and you have counterparts here with the High Priestess and the Hierophant. So the other thing too, you have a lot of interesting cards here. You have Aquarius here, Capricorn is here, fire is here. You have all the elements represented in the card of the Magician. You also do have some earth, not any air really, but other than the Star card. But I think you'll have a very prosperous year ahead. I don't see a lot where I feel like there's going to be too much tumult coming your way, but you start off in January with the High Priestess, and this is also the card of the Psychic. So if you are feeling intuitive, know that your intuition is guiding you accurately. If you feel, some of you have psychic abilities, and I was told that my whole life, and I thought, I didn't really have a huge interest in it. I kind of felt like I don't want people lining up saying, you know, is this relationship going to work out? Am I going to get this job? And after a while, I had to acquiesce to it because I just knew things. And what it grew into, I thought, okay, I'm reading energy in the room. And I still think of it that way. I can definitely, in certain situations, feel many energies. There are times I have accurately, unfortunately, predicted death and longevity that I don't really necessarily intentionally tune into that, but sometimes it's unavoidable. So anyway, for those of you that have an inclination in that way, this card is guiding you and just telling you that you can really trust yourself. I do think you're going to be surrounded by very good people this year, and you're going to have a lot of support. So in terms of money, you are going to have a lot of stability there. I think some of you could be a little bit lucky in the beginning of the year. So you'll start off with the High Priestess, and again, this is all about, you know, like I said, about psychic abilities and about just being intuitive. It will be a time where you just know the truth. You just intuitively know the truth. Then you go into the King of Pentacles here, and isn't he nice to see? I do think for some of you that are entering a relationship, you have somebody who's very, very handsome and stable coming into the future here. It's kind of like a hope or a wish fulfillment coming in, where you have been very intentional about knowing what you were wanting and just not seeing it and kind of going, well, there's billions of people out there. Where is mine? Here he is. So I think February and March are going to be great months for love for you. February, March, and then again in July and in June too. June, July, February, March for love for you. I think the end of the year is going to be more about money and stability that way. But anyway, so in February, you may be given some kind of an offer also, like where you are coming into some unexpected money. So it could be something like, an overpayment, and you get a check in the mail unexpectedly. Some of you for sure in February are going to have something like that, or you go to a casino and you leave with, I keep getting $2,000. So I do see it being an extra little amount of money. I mean, it's still, it's nice to have extra money come unexpectedly. Then in March, you're going to have some kind of wish fulfillment here. The Star card is about hope, but it is also too about, about having wish fulfillment, about seeing something come to fruition. So it's all about rejuvenation. I do think for some of you, you could be having a reconciliation. So for you, if you have had an ex that it just had some unfinished business, those of you that have unfinished emotional business, that is going to come back around in March. There's somebody out there that is kind of lingering out there, and they know too there's unfinished emotional business. But yeah, I definitely think money and relationships are going to be very solid. I don't see a lot of travel in this reading. Now, you have the Devil here in April, and this can also be about addiction. It may be that the person that you were involved with either needed to get sober or is still struggling with it, and they come to you for help. That could very possibly be. I don't see it as you, the querent. I don't see it as like Capricorn is going to have a problem with addiction. It's more the energy around you. This can be obsession too, like in a relationship, but for you, I don't know. I'm getting more like it's an addiction kind of a thing, where you've got this person who comes back, they've struggled, and they have either, like I said, they've either gotten sober or they're going to later in this year. And you have to kind of be careful with that, because there's sort of an old saying that alcoholics don't have relationships, they take hostages. So, and which is interesting, because with this card, the people are chained together, kind of like a hostage situation. So you want to make sure that you are, don't let anybody own your thinking. Don't let anybody guide you in a way that goes against that high priestess. Because that's interesting that you have on the end of the row, you've got the high priestess with the devil. So interesting alignment there. So let's take a look at what Abraham Hicks has to say here for this first quarter. Why are they not getting what they're asking for? If people are not receiving what they're asking for, it can only be that the person's holding the desire out of alignment with their own requests. There is no shortage, there is no lack, there is no competition for resources. There is only the allowing or disallowing of that which one is asking for. So, very true. So, if you're not finding that things come to fruition for you, that very well has to do with your own set of beliefs, or limiting beliefs is a better way to say that. So, if you have doubt in your vibration, it will not manifest. The things will not come forward that you are wishing for. So you need to just allow the universe to deliver to you. So here we go into May. And this is a great time for any kind of a partnership. It may be that this old flame who comes back, if they are struggling with drugs or alcohol, they become more like a friend for you. This can also be work related too. And if that's the case, if you're on any kind of an assignment, or some of you are going to, I think, get a new job in May. If you are assigned to some kind of a project, you're going to have a great harmony at work. You're going to be able to work together, respect each other's ideas, and get really the true sense of challenge the idea, not the person. So if you've had trouble in the past with work relationships, this is going to be a great year for you to move forward professionally. And really, I feel like, you go from this right into the Six of Wands, and then right into the Magician. So I do feel like for you, career and money-wise, this is great victory and success. And if you've butted heads with somebody in the past in a working relationship, you are going to be showcased. That's the word that I get. Your talents and your gifts are going to be showcased. They're going to be sought after. Here you are riding high, and you're going to be in a really, I don't want to say it's a peak, because it's not going to go downhill after June, because next you have the Magician in July, which is all about manifestation. But you're going to kind of come into your own personal power. And when we lead by our personal power, we lead through creating through positive thoughts and ideas, not by trying to control other people. So this person has all these people following them, right? They're on this horse. And I'm reticent to use the word follower because that sounds kind of cult-like, but that's almost what it is. It's like the people around you, Capricorn, will really see that you have great ideas, that they want what you have. That's what it is. They want what you have. And even whoever this is with the alcohol and drugs, same thing. That's what I'm going to say for you this year. People want what you have. And with the Magician here, that could not be any more true. So you're into July here, and this is about a big manifestation. So I want you to be very deliberate in the first part of the year here with setting your intentions and really trusting that the universe will deliver to you. Anything really could be yours, as long as you believe that. I've given this example before. It's like when you go into a restaurant, and let's say I go into a Chinese restaurant and I order, I don't sit there and then worry for the next 15 to 20 minutes, are they going to bring out McDonald's or are they going to bring out Italian food? I know that whatever I order, they're going to bring me Chinese food if it's a Chinese restaurant. It's kind of like that with the universe. When you ask for something, know that it will be given to you. We don't need to sit and worry about what if that doesn't happen or how could that be possible. That's how we hold off our desires, kind of like what the Abraham card said. So you're going to get some kind of a big manifestation. I think I did say I don't see a lot of travel here, but this could be something else, like a house or a second home for those of you that have an interest in that, or some kind of a big financial gain. Again, I saw that earlier with the $2,000, but this is bigger. This is more like, you get a contract for a job and it's like a six-figure project, where it's a significant amount of money, but it's not like a salary thing where it's like, well, I've just gotten a better salary. It's like kind of a special thing. So I do think for sure in July you're going to have some life-changing things happen for you. Now here and again, this is all about change. It's a 5. This is August, and I think, it's kind of like there could be a little bit of doubt or self-pity, but I actually think this is somebody around you more than it's representative of you. I feel like somebody around you is going to feel very heartbroken and just be kind of an Eeyore type of person to be around. It could also be somebody who's grief-stricken. I don't normally get that, but I wonder if there will be a passing that you're going to be related to it somewhat loosely, but somebody close to you is going to be really grief-stricken. And so I guess what I would tell you to do with that is, instead of joining them in their sadness, do the best you can to uplift them. And this is for only some of you. I have not had a situation like that happen in years. So if I have Capricorn rising, if I had that happen, yeah, I'll let you know. Because I do feel like that's going to happen with some of you. My greatest gift to give is my happiness. So I didn't read this card, but that's kind of what I mean, is if you have to uplift somebody, you really want to, and it doesn't mean you're fake about it. It just means that you keep guiding them in the direction of kind of coming out of it and helping them in that way. I knew somebody that, they said, oh, my friend's son died, and the friend was really sad. And this woman said, oh, and I just kept crying and crying with these people. And I said, well, were you close with the son? And she said, no, I never met him. But it was almost like she was taking on their energy, and it was just keeping them stuck. Do not do that, okay? If that happens in your life, you should do your best to be, like I said, an uplifter. The greatest gift that you could ever give is your own happiness. When you are in a state of joy or appreciation, you are connected to the stream of source energy that is truly who you are, and anything or anyone that you are holding as your object of attention benefits from your attention, right? So if you're in a bad mood, and people go, God, I don't even want to be around you, you're in such a bad mood. But if you're in a positive mood, the same can be true, or the opposite can be true, where people just are gravitating towards you. So know that, you'll attract more positivity the more positive you are. So after this is kind of interesting, because after this 5 of Cups in August and September, it's like you've got this 4 of Pentacles situation where, you're hanging on to things and guarding yourself a little bit. And again, I don't think it's you, but I do think you're not wanting to let go of something here. I feel like you are going to be in a position of very good health and finances. So it's not like, you're suffering in some way. I don't believe that 5 of Cups is you. Again, I think that's energy around you. I think what this is because you've had a really nice, you've got a great flow with money this year. I do feel like there's a part of you that does not want to take a chance on somebody. And I don't feel like it's that, that alcoholic thing in the backdrop. I think that is kind of irrelevant to some extent. I actually feel like there's a part of you that just wants to be single for some of you. And if you're going, no, I want love to come in. I think that, in the early part of the year, there's some opportunities there. But I think if those don't take off, you're kind of going to be okay just being single for a little bit. And you're going to be a little bit guarded. So what I would tell you with this, and in any reading, if you start to get energies or a storyline that you don't like, be aware of that and do some processes to make sure that you're open to what could come in. Because it's telling you that your energy is leading you in that direction, but you can change that. You don't have to say, well, this is the prediction. You might be having this put in your past so that you can look at it and decide for yourself. So in this case, I do feel like you're blocking your heart more than anything, or protecting your money too, and just kind of wanting to get a little bit more stable before you look at really being serious in a relationship. But then you have this Knight of Wands who comes charging in October, and this may be from the earlier part of the year where it's kind of a passionate kind of a thing where things maybe didn't get off the ground, or they just didn't keep moving along, and this person comes back and tries again. I think that could very well be where there was something between you that got a little bit disrupted, like you got more focused on work, or there was even maybe some physical distance, geographical distance. And I do feel like this person's going to come back around and be very interested in catching up with you, and seeing what else could happen in this relationship. So stay tuned on that, I guess. The only thing with the Knight of Wands is they can be a little bit insensitive, like narcissistic in a way where they show up late to stuff and kind of just expect you to wait around for them and that sort of thing. And I don't see Capricorn doing that. This next one here, this is for November, and this is the Hierophant. So this is the counterpart to the High Priestess. This is also a 5, so there's change here. And that may be loosening up from that 4 of Pentacles. That may be the change that happens here. This is all earth energy, and the Hierophant he's an officiant, so he officiates at like weddings and funerals. So sometimes we say this could be a wedding or a funeral card. I do think your funeral already happened in August, not yours, but a funeral happens around August or late summertime. There's something that happens there. But I think that with this, it teaches you about partnership and the importance of working together. And I feel like as you head into the end of the year, that's going to become more and more important in a personal level. So not the work front stuff anymore. I think you're going to transition away from that a little bit and get into looking more at a relationship and starting something that can last and run the distance. I feel like you're going to be in a really good place for that. So if it doesn't, at the beginning of the year, if it doesn't come into full manifestation, I wouldn't completely close the door on it. I think it will be coming. It just, you need to take care of some things first. So the next card that we have, and the final card here, is the Judgment card. So it's 20, so 2 10s. And I do feel like there's been a cycle that needed to be concluded here, but this is also about acceptance for you. And I do feel like you have a year of transformation where you have new things coming in, you have a lot of success financially, and I think overall when it's Judgment Day, you're kind of breaking free from some people from the past. I also think too, you're going to have some kind of a decision to make, and I think it's this King of Pentacles guy from the beginning here. I think there's going to be something with that where you're going to decide either, yeah, I want to continue on into 2021 with this person, or I want to see what else is out there. So I do think the ball's going to be in your court, and it's like they're waiting for your decision. So they're down there, waiting to hear what you're going to say. So again, I feel like this year for 2020 is about you being in your personal power, Capricorn, and really just having a lot of ease and clarity throughout the year. So it looks like it's going to be a great year for you. Let's do our Abraham Hicks card here. Why does my saying no to it mean saying yes to it? When you give attention to something you desire and say yes to it, you are including it in your vibration. But when you look at something you do not want and say no to it, you are including it in your vibration. You cannot exclude anything that you are giving attention to. So that's why we say the universe doesn't hear negatives. It just feels your attention on something. So whatever you point your attention to, you will get. So Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. I'll be back in a couple of days with your January 2020. We'll see if the High Priestess reappears in that. And thank you so much again to everyone who's subscribed. I really appreciate that. And I'll keep producing videos for you. And I love you, and I hope you have a great New Year's.